Oh my goodness. Here I am. Vixie, Nostalgia, Stone Spire Hall. All sorts of people up in here, and that makes me super duper happy. Oh, thank you for bearing with me. I had to fix some microphone issues and get my coffee. But I thought I would go ahead and just start it and put on the welcome screen just for fun. Let's get this up a little bit. A little more music. So we have a very particular thing that we need to do today. My back is trying to lock up after going up and down a 3-story ladder for 3 hours carrying stuff for and install. Yep, that'll happen. That will happen. So, a couple of things I want to do. I want to do something fun, but we're also going to look at the folders of Skyland AIO and make sure everything that we've done, all of the updates we've made, from new landscape textures to farmhouses to mark art, make sure it's all in the AIO. Y'all, the reason I'm doing this is so y'all can help me remember what I've done, because I don't know if I remember all of it. And then I was looking at them today, and there was a lot of diffuse textures with no alpha map that I was saving as a BC7, and I went ahead and resaved all of them again as BC1 that didn't have alpha maps for the diffuses. And so I saved a gig on file size. So that, it was like 4.8 gigs, and now it's like 4 or something. I don't know how big it is. Let me see. It is now... Oh no, that's not right. Properties, 4 gigs for the PC AIO at 2 to 8K, So that's cray. But it was like 4.8, and then I went back and did all the BC1 stuff, and now it's at 4 flat. So I did make a couple of tweaks and changes. Got the manhole and solitude sorted out. It was referring to some metal cube maps that were in a weapons folder that was a mod, so now I have that all sorted and stuff. So and then there was a couple of textures that were like really bright and overexposed, and for some reason they were set to 32-bit in Photoshop, and it should have been 8-bit. So I'm glad that I saved all of my output textures, like the albedo and the AO, because I was able to just drag and drop them in and fix it, and that was very nice. So, for fun stuff, here's what I'm going to do. Here's and this audio is much higher because that's clean mic. So let me do that. 1 second. Okay. Okay, here we go. Now we have sound. So what we have is we have LUTs. I have LUTs. And LUTs are color profiles for video. It's like an EMB for your video. And I wanted and I sent my friend a bunch of EMBs today. And I was like, man, I mean, a bunch of LUTs today. And I was like, I don't have any LUT. I've not even looked at all of these. So we're going to go through my LUT folder real quick and see which one works best for me. And I'm using one called Cornfield. And you should be able to hear me right now. There we go. Okay, so if I turn my LUT all the way up, this is what it looks like. All the way down, this is what my camera looks like. It's like a flat profile, right? So we see the difference. Flat profile, LUT. And then I can just kind of like set it to like 60%, 75%. So I'm going to do like 75%, okay? And now I'm going to go from top to bottom of my LUTs. So we're using Cornfield. Here's Brightwater Keep. That's okay. It's a little flat for me. All the way up, that's a bit much. Let me slide this video over. Here we go. And now we have Brown Mood. Doesn't really do much for me. Casterly Rock. Kind of like the first one. Cinema Greens. I do use this on my Skyrim ENB. It doesn't really do much if you see it's flat, but what it does is it really kind of does this, just makes the shadows green, basically is what this does. Cinematic doesn't do anything. Cinematic 2 doesn't do anything. This doesn't do really anything. So these cinematics don't do shit. Okay. Cornfield, back to Cornfield. This is the one that I currently always use, but I have it at about 65% is where I keep it. Crate Hall. That's a really flat cinematic look right there. EVX is pretty good. It's a bit punchy for me, but I do like it. Dark Teal doesn't do much. Dorn, yeah. Dramatic Teal, not really much at all, if anything. High Garden, Purple. I could see how the High Garden would be cool for like a night scene. Night Song, very orange. Old Town, yeah, looks like old film. This is like your dramatic scene right here, especially if you go up with it, like here. This is the dramatic detective scene. Yeah, okay. That's Old Town. Red Forest. I think there might be something wrong with those because I know that they used to work. Sepia. That is not working. Spring to Autumn is not working. I wonder if I have to do all capital cubes. Stonehelm. Oh, that's pretty cool. That's pretty fun looking. Eee. Makes it very sharp and crisp. I will say that, but it makes me look like I'm dying. What is that? Stonehelm. And then Summerhall. Very washed out. Sunny Paradise. Now, I know that works too, and I don't know why it's not wanting to. The Keep. That's pretty fun. And then the last two, Ruby Ford. That's fun. I like how that kind of blues everything out. And then Urban Mood. So this, I know, I like Urban Mood, but it's not working. So let me do rename Urban Mood and do this. Still doesn't want to work. So we're going to go back to my Cornfield because that's the one I think I still like the best. Just kind of warms everything up and just makes it kind of nice and warm, which is what I'm looking for. We're looking at LUTs. EMBs, but for camera. Exactly right. So, let's go back into no game. There we go. And now we just have our cool overlays here. And my little things at the bottom here, this guy, I don't know if that's working. I don't get tips. I don't get super chats. And it doesn't show the latest member. And that kind of, well, I don't know what a member is versus a subscriber here. So who knows? And then I'm supposed to also have like this alert that comes up when somebody joins, but I don't ever see that. Yeah, let's. So yeah, next up, what we're going to do, and I don't think anybody ever has, I don't think we've ever talked about this, but for my Sovngarde video, if you've not seen it, there was music in it. And I didn't really promote it, but I wrote the music for that video that day. I recorded the video in game, then I edited the video. And I was like, this needs music, and I couldn't really find music. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to write a song for this. Oh, okay, Vixie, that makes sense. So I wanted to show you, and I'm going to just open this up real quick here. Pause that. I wanted to just kind of break down the song because it's really short and sweet. And the tracks aren't really a lot, but I thought you might enjoy this. And let me see if the sound is actually working here. Yes. So we're getting sound in stream. Right? So, very cool song. And it started off with these low strings right here. And I'm using this program here called BBC Symphony Orchestra by Spitfire Audio. And what they did is they went and they recorded the London Symphony Orchestra, or the BBC Symphony Orchestra, I'm sorry, at Abbey Road Studios, I believe. And so you have all of these microphones to choose from and room reverbs and all of this stuff. So let me see what is being said here in chat real quick. So if I don't hear this when I wake up, it's going to be a bad day instantly. What? Hello, Cole. So, and then a cat in a box. That's very nice. So we start off with these low strings here, and I'll show you what they sound like real quick. Very simple violin part. And it just kind of does that through the whole song. But now you need your cello and your low end here. So we'll do the cello and the contrabasses. They do the same thing, but an octave apart. And that's them there. You might not be able to hear it on a cell phone. And it's kind of that suspense. So to add to the suspense, we add some tremolo some tremolo violas, and I didn't want to go tremolo violins because it was too high pitched. So I'll take these out. So there's our viola. And they just hang out right there. That's the only part in the song is right there for them. So when you put the violins and violas together, and if you add the contrabass and cellos, yeah, it's a nice little suspenseful intro. And that E minor riff, da-dun, da-dun, into this C chord. I mean F. So it has this kind of, it has this suspense and then release. And what's cool is that everything's holding like a dissonant kind of note over each other. And I really like how it builds on that tension. Then what's really cool is, what do we have here? We have the drums. So the drums and percussion. Very cool. And they just add that je ne sais quoi to any symphonic piece. So here's just the drums. Right? That's it. A little roll in and then a hit. So if we do this, 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 and this, you get all of it together. And that's cool. Now we need something on the high end. So we added this Piccolo Flute, and it's going to come in right here. And it's doing the melody. Very cool. Now, there's no real percussion, and I was thinking about having like the string slapping for like this kind of percussive hit. But I thought what would be cooler is to do pizzicato strings. So we have these pizzicatos right here. And that is the whole song, right? One more thing that I thought was going to be really cool is there's this old, I think it's basically the guy who invented New Age music, and his name is Ray Lynch. And there's a video on my channel of me remaking a Ray Lynch song in symphonic form. But he used a lot of natural ambient sounds like whales and stuff. So it's kind of like an homage. I threw this sound in right here. That's it, right? It's very weird on its own. Let me just get to just that sound. And you listen, you go, that's a very weird sound, and I don't know if I like it on its own, right? Here it is. But if I was to do something like this and then pull it down, you get that bendy bit, and that's just what it and so it gives you this kind of whale sound. So hearing it all together, here it comes. Very fantasy. And it has this melancholy type of feel and sound to it that I think is really cool. Let me get this on. So it has this kind of, yeah, the melancholy. It's kind of happy and nostalgic, but at the same time kind of sad and tense. And the pizzicato violas really kind of help that out a lot in my mind. It just kind of has that, ooh, I keep hitting space there. So that's something I really kind of like about it. So anyway, that's the whole fucking song. We did add some other stuff as the song progresses, like we add pizzicato, cello, and bass. Right there on the hits. So that's the pizzicato, cello, and bass, along with the sustain, contrabass, and cellos. And we also add, to go with the flute, we're an octave lower with an oboe, and that's something that, like, John Williams uses a lot of oboe, and I just love the way they sound. And so when you pair the flute and oboe together, I really enjoy it. We'll throw the flute in. everything. There's that pizzicato. And then here it's just the oboe at this second coda. We have the oboe leads, and then the flute comes in instead of the other way around as it was in the intro oboe. And it blends so well in with the strings you can't hear it unless you're listening for the oboe, and now they pair up. But the MP3 is on my Discord, and if you listen to it on good speakers or in your car, you will feel the bass. There's a lot there. Like my speakers here, it just fills up the whole room with just whoa when those cellos come in, and when the pizzicato, cello, and contrabasses hit, it's like thump, thump. It's a very cool sound. And it's amazing that a virtual instrument can pick all of that up. But anyway, I thought that was cool, and you might like this avant-garde video more now knowing that, you know, it's there. But if you wanted to see it in action, let's go over to our channel real quick here. And we can see it here in action. Let me do that again. and done. And that's it. So I think it ended up pretty well. I'm probably going to reuse the music again. Hello. Hi. I'll probably reuse the music again for maybe the Skyland AIO trailer release or something with the new AIO launches. So we'll see. We'll see. But it's always fun composing symphonic pieces. I'm not the best at it. I don't have formal training in classical composition. I guess I would call it more fantasy writing, right? More fantasy music. So it's not like I'm not gonna sit here and John Williams the shit, and or you know, what do you want? He's just staring at me. What do you want, Bubba? Hi. Headbutt. Okay. Yeah, Jake loves this cat. Jake has been over here and they've met a few times. Grit, can you tell me how much you love Mr. St. Jake? Just show me with your little paws. Just, is it this much? Or is it this much? That much? Okay. Yeah, I'm glad to hear that, buddy. I'm glad to hear that it's up and working now. I want to see what it looks like. You should send me a screenshot on Discord, and we will all judge it. We will all judge. So here's the deal. Mr. St. Jake is a streamer. Streams a bunch of different stuff, and he's been using a webcam until today. He finally got a real DSLR, Sony, and we've been waiting, and now he's finally got it. And so we are all excited for Jake's new setup. And he's the one who I sent all my LUTs over to. So, sorry, Jake, if some of them didn't work. Some of them weren't working for me either, and I don't know why. But, anywho, let's dig into this folder structure here. And, yeah, so when Jake shows me his video, we're all going to judge and see how good it is. But if you look at his channel, you can see his previous quality. So what I'm going to basically look up here is our Skyland AIO. And this is what the AIO looks like. And it has all of these individual mods in it. So we have Skyland Night Skies, Skyland Riften, Skyland Imperial Forts and Dungeons. And each one of these is the mod in and of itself, right? So I could literally just zip up this Skyland Solitude folder, and that is all of Skyland Solitude individually. So what we're looking for is to ensure that everything that's in my backup Skyland AIO is actually the stuff that's in here. So Mario, everyone else, let me know what I've done, and we'll run around in game, and we're going to see anything that I missed. If anybody can remember. Now, I'll go ahead and just run through here real quick. We haven't touched the alternate mountains. We haven't touched granite mountains. We haven't touched road signs. The Imperial Forts and Dungeons was updated in the last update. We've not touched it since then. Markarth, I did copy over, so everything is good here. The new Falmer huts and the new Markarth textures are all here. And then in the dungeons, these are all the new Dwemer ruins, and they're all good to go. So Markarth, done. Nordic ruins haven't been touched. And as we can see, I did add a couple of things to this. Surprise, surprise. I went ahead and did all of the murals. I did all the murals because I've never done them before. So they're done. The quality, whatever, but they're done. And then the Nordic ruins, here they all are here. So that's all good. Static Mesh Improvement mod retextures, didn't touch them. Skyland Riften, didn't touch anything in here since the last update. Actually, I did, but I'll show you. In the Ratway, I redid the floors and the dirt, and I'll show you that in game. Ships and shacks haven't touched. Imperial and Nordic tents haven't touched. Skyland Solitude, what I did fix in here is the manhole cover, the E file, and this M metallic and this N, and I believe I also have the cube map in here. Here we go. Oh, Jake, see, that looks so good, buddy. Here, I'll show everyone. So everyone, this is Mr. St. Jake's. Let me do upload original. Here we go. Yay! It looks like it's a freaking movie now. It looks so good. You got that beautiful film grain in there. The color looks good. It's clean and crisp. I know that you're super happy with that shit. Damn. That looks good as hell, son. I love it. Congratulations on your camera. That makes me super, super stoked. Don't forget to put the hearth fire things in. Yes, we'll get there. So, and then let me check out the data for this. And the meshes, the architecture, solitude. This was giving some people some issues. And so now we have, everything is now in the architecture, right? Everything is in here. So we should be good. This right here just uses the Ridgestone 07, which is already included. And then this uses Dirt 02. So I don't have to worry about that. Great. Moving on. And then what I did add was our clovers from Skyhaven Temple I included now. So now there's new ivy and solitude. Great. The other thing that I'm thinking about doing is replacing this texture with our vampire marble floor texture. I think that that would be really, really, really cool. So somebody just hit me up for some reason on Discord. What do you want? I found Discord, YouTube. Okay, cool. Well, I will let Vixie deal with that. So this right here, I'm thinking about replacing with the vampire castle marble floor. That's the only other change in solitude that I want to do. Moving on, towns and villages, farmhouses. This has got a lot of new stuff. We have all new wood textures. The stone walls are the same, but there's something else that I want to add into here. Okay. And I would like to add in, let me see. Let me open up my mod organizer here, and what I'm going to look for. Actually, it's on my Discord. And let me go to early releases, and I believe it should be this guy. Yep. And let's pull this down, and we're just going to hit download. And I got to make sure, I just got to get the folder structure correct here. Here we go. Open that up. We can open this, do this, shut that down. Okay. So this is what we're looking at. The H, here we go. I want to put this right in there. So what this is going to do is this is going to be the high poly project, new stone wall texture. And I'm just going to save that as a DXT1. So save some space. So this right here should hopefully retexture the high poly project stone walls because they look like ass. Next up, Skyland High Hrothgar. This is pretty much, y'all know that I redid this a couple days ago. So here that all is. Don't have to worry about the meshes. Skyhaven Temple's good. Sovngarde, Windhelm, Watercolor haven't touched. Whiterun haven't touched. Winterhold haven't touched, and Night Skies haven't touched. So everything else seems great. After that, we have our landscape textures. And now it was brought to my attention to ensure you have Artemis. What is Artemis? Oh yeah, you have Artemis, the cat. Yes. Everybody needs a sky cat. That's a really great name. Don't forget to put the Hearthfire things in. Here we go. So, BYOH, clutter, resources. Here is the new clay deposits and crap like that. And then the clutter is all of our standing stones and the Dark Brotherhood door. Standard. Haven't touched these. DLC 2 is the landscapes for Solstheim, whatever it's called. Dungeons is just the caves and mines. So we have new caves, everyone, new caves, and new ice caves. Mines, not new. Effects, nothing new here, except for Project Diffuse and Project Diffuse Normal. Projected Normal is new, Projected Diffuse is new. Okay? Landscape. The landscape I have copied and pasted over to here, but a shit ton of new landscape. So new tundra, new pine forest, new grasses, new dirt, new reaches, new rift, new roads, new dirt cliffs. It was in the last update. We have like new snow grass, new dirt, snow rocks. We have nothing else new, but there's a shit ton of new stuff and new riverbed edge and river bottoms. So a lot of new landscape shit. Shader tests, that's the same. Static mesh improvement mod, haven't touched. So I think the AIO is put all together. And if it is all together, we're going to run through the game and check it. And if it is all together, then it's already zipped and ready to go. Well, actually, I'm going to I got to touch up the faux mod. And so this is the program I use to put everything together. And so like when I'm like architecture, pick the things you want to install. So Skyhaven, Sovngarde, Windhelm, they don't have pictures down here. So I need to put pictures in. So when you select it, you have a little cool image. And let me check the towns and villages. Okay, cool. That works. So, yeah, everything else seems to be okay in here. I just need to add those little the little thumbnails. And that's it. So let's hump it into game and see what's up. Will blended roads be included still? Yeah, blended roads is going to still be included. And I've fixed something in Solitude that, like, if you didn't install the landscapes, it didn't install the blended roads Solitude bridge or something. So, but if you just install Solitude, it will install that bridge now. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but there it is. I did get rid of a couple of options. There's no more a Skyland LODs option on the PC AIO. I'm going to have that as a separate download. And because some people just don't need it because they create their own LODs, but I'll have it as a separate download. And then I took out the dirt road option because it doesn't work with the road meshes. Okay, so here's kind of the dealio. The road meshes are like kind of all over the place, and I'll show you in Granite Hill what I'm talking about here. And so the meshes are like kind of big and bulky, and what they're supposed to be is kind of like pushed flush with the ground, and it doesn't always work that way. I don't know if they placed all of these by hand or what, but if I go COC AAA Granite Hill, and let's check this out. On the main street, you're going to see it, and you also see it between Riverwood and Whiterun. You see this issue with the road meshes. So you have two different things happening here. You have the ground texture, and then you have the road meshes. And the ground texture, of course, is just this dirt texture. And then over here, this is actually a mesh, and it blends in. And what blended roads does is you don't see a seam, whereas without the mesh, you would see this harsh seam. Thanks to these alpha masks that are introduced and other things. But what blended roads also does is it makes the stones 3D modeled into the mesh now instead of flush like they were with vanilla. Here's the issue, is that in a lot of areas, these meshes are beveled up out of the ground. Like you can see here. And you can see here. It's beveled out of the ground. And let me set game hour to 17 here. And you'll really be able to see it. So you see how this mesh is just not flush with the ground? And it's because the ground is at a slope. And so they kept basically these things flat, whereas the ground slopes with it. And so when you have the dirt road textures, and what the dirt road textures does is it just deletes the stones. You still get these huge humps everywhere, and it's not very sightly. So for that mod to really work, you would have to go in and literally just delete the road meshes, right? And just have this dirt texture. Like, here's a really bad one right there, right? So you would have to delete all the meshes. The problem is that the devs intended to have the road meshes there. So what's under these meshes is usually like a big divot or a gap or this ditch or this trench in the landscape mesh itself. And so if you delete them all, you get these really weird looking roads. So I just removed the option of having a dirt road because literally just replacing the texture with dirt textures just didn't do it right. And it was it was a cool idea. It just doesn't hold to the quality standards that of which I like to go by, and it's almost too much work for the amount of people that would enjoy it. You know, the 24 people that would want that, it's just not really worth doing, you know, in my opinion. So, will you do a Skyland music replacer in the future? I really enjoyed the music you made for Sovngarde. Great work. Thank you. I've toyed with the idea in my mind. The thing is, and I know everybody has kind of heard the original vanilla music so many times, but we're talking about Jeremy Soule here, a guy who is world renowned for his gaming soundtracks and stuff. Be it he might be a douche or an asshole and a misogynist and possible rapist, and you know, people don't like him. Of course, that's all just from what I've read in news articles. He can still write some music, and I feel like it just, I would feel like an imposter, an imposer, a very egotistical type of person if I felt like I could compose music for Skyrim. You know, I'm just kind of like, I don't know if that's my place. I'm capable of it, but I don't know if it's prudent. I don't want to be seen as somebody to take on Jeremy Soule head on. You know what I mean? I guess I'm maybe have a bit of imposter syndrome when it comes to that. So, I don't know. As much as I think it would be cool to do, I don't know. Who knows? Thank you. I think they're super realistic looking too, and I can't wait to get these pumped out to everyone. So, let's talk about release dates. We have just released High Hrothgar again. Everybody does like to replace the music. Soul? How do you say his name? Anyway, release dates. So, we did High Hrothgar, and we did Sovngarde, and Skyhaven Temple. They've all been released.
What are your thoughts on all this?
This Friday, listen to me close. Listen to me very closely. This Friday, I am releasing... I can't believe I'm going to say this. This Friday, I am releasing Skyland Dawnguard. Yes, Skyland Dawnguard is going to come out this Friday for PC and Xbox. And I got to get it over to the Xbox side, which takes a little bit. PC, I just got to zip it up, but I got to convert everything to 1K. Make a video for it. Get a bunch of cool... I got a bunch of cool screenshots already. But this Friday, all of Skyland... all of the Dawnguard... I use Obsidian. All of Skyland... all of Dawnguard has been retextured. From Falmer to castles to dungeons to landscapes for the Soulcarn. It's all been done. And it's ready to go. I've got 3 textures I have to... no. I have to do the Falmer textures, which is just running it through a program to upscale them because I'm not fucking remaking them. And then I've got to make the Soulcarn door, which we can do tonight. The Falmer stuff, I want to explain the Falmer stuff to you. So the Falmer stuff, Falmer, the Falmaluyas, they they're very hand-drawn textures, and they look really great as they are. They're already 2K. They could just, but they've been upscaled from like 1K, right, to 2K, and they were upscaled very poorly. But the problem is that when the devs made it, they had the high poly model, and they were hand drawing directly onto it. And you can see, I'll show you in the textures, they are hand drawn. I don't have the high poly mesh because they put low poly mesh in the game to save the FPSs, and that's just what you do. But I can't go in and hand draw on a low poly mesh, and I can't retrace just looking at the texture. There's a couple other issues too. So what I've decided to do is to run something called Esgran, ESGRAN, I think is how it is pronounced, or that's what it's even called. And I have upconverted very well the Falmer stuff. No clue what Tamrielic grasses? I don't know. I did a whole video on my channel about the Skyland load order, and it gives you what my base mods are. So for the Dawnguard stuff, I just have to run the Falmer Bridge and huts through that conversion program, which takes all of 5 minutes. And then I have to create the Soulcarn door. And Dawnguard's done. And we can have that done tonight. And if you're good people, if you're Esgran, thank you, Jesus. So if you're good people, I will upload Skyland Dawnguard to the early releases on the Discord tonight for everyone to go and enjoy. So let's talk about the DLC and Skyland AIO, because this is where it gets a little hairy. On PC, everything is going to be included in the AIO because it doesn't freaking matter, right? On PC, it doesn't matter. On Xbox, it does matter. After this update, our two standalone AIOs, Landscape and Architecture, Landscape AIO and Architecture AIO. The all-in-one AIO, the old-school AIO, it's not getting the update because it's at a gig. And Bethesda only allows for mods to be 1 gig in size, which is fucking stupid. But anyway, the Landscape AIO and the Architecture AIO, with their LODs, taps out close to 1 gig. Which means I cannot include DLC in the Landscape and the Architecture AIOs. I can't. Thank you to Bethesda for that. Okay, so all of the DLC stuff, Solheim, so for Dragonborn and Dawnguard, they're going to be in Skyland DLC AIO. We're just going to make a third AIO for just the DLC shit, which will be everything, both DLCs, their LODs, all of that fun shit. Because Dragonborn by itself is like a whole other Skyrim game. It's almost a gig full of fucking textures by itself. So none of the DLC is going to be in the current Landscape and the current Architecture AIOs. Go away. And I need my other witch sword. Grit, no one's coming. Player.add item space 1F000D631. Thank you. Inventory. Weapons. Witch sword. Yeah, that's the one I wanted. I don't want none of that two-hand shit. I believe there's a download on Nexus where all textures are already upscaled to 4K. Oh. Yeah, I get that. But I didn't do it. And I'm not going to go take somebody else's textures and put them into Skyland. On top of that, I'm using a different... I'm using a newer Esgrin. I want to say it's like Esgrin Plus Super or whatever it is. And then I'm using a different... what is that called? Not a profile. It's called... I can't remember what it's called. It's a builder. It's a algorithm. Right? So there's a wiki page with like 200 algorithms on it, and you just kind of choose whichever one works best for your situation. Check this out. Ooh, no. Bad. Go. Away. You. Go. Away. Why aren't you dying? Oh, you're a white wolf. Easy. Kill. I have a question here, and maybe you guys can help me. Do you see this dark line halfway up my screen in the snow? You see that? It's right here. There's this line right through here. I want that to go away. It's not just in the snow, it's everywhere. So, ultimately, even if other people up-converted with Esgrin, it's going to look completely different if somebody else does it using a different algorithm. Because I know I tried like 5 or 6 different algorithms and finally found the one that I liked, and then I kind of tweaked it a little bit more in Photoshop just to kind of bring out a couple little extra things to it. But it ended up looking all right. And so I uploaded a... I would have never seen that. What have you never seen? Is that the EMB fog? Yeah. Now you see it, and now that's all you see, and it just gets freaking ridiculous. Is that really the EMB fog? Oh my god, it is. So this is EMB off, by the way. EMB on. Okay, I'm out of here. COC Riverwood. And if you didn't know, COC stands for Center on Cell. Yeah, SRO is really, really good. SRO is really good. Okay, so yeah, so now I don't get the line because there is no fog here. I need my God mode on because I hate running out of stamina. I think that's the one thing about these games is running out of stamina. These are some of our new farmhouse textures. And I wanted to check out one thing real quick like. And that's to go over here. And we want to make sure that our clay deposits are showing up because that's a really big one for Mario. If I released the AIO and the clay deposits didn't show up, I would be eating shit from Mario. He would be coming down on me like a new hellfire you have never experienced before. And there they are, Mario. They're in the AIO, buddy. I hope you enjoy that. Alright? So there it is. And then the other thing I wanted to look at was this water. FW10A2340 to change their weather. Yeah, I guess that's okay. I think my colors are flipped on my water. But I don't think anyone will ever notice this. You can't TFC underwater. And then, of course, all new river bottom. So I think the AIO is done and ready to go. But I hope people don't really mind too much that the DLC shit won't be in the 2 AIOs for Xbox. Sorry. Sorry, I can't help it. Now, I've got me and a couple of people working on the Xbox version of AIO, and we're going to try and get it to as small of a footprint and size as we possibly can, just so we can try and fit as much into that 1 gig as possible. Or well, it's 2 gigs because we have one for architecture and one for landscape, right? So we're going to try our best. We're going to try our best. Cool. Skyline Snow Retexture Replacer standalone on Xbox. Can't find it. I have no snow replacer texture. It's a part of the Landscape AIO. So if you get the Landscape AIO, you get the snow, which is this guy. But I would wait. Unless you just want to download it now. You can download it now. It doesn't matter. But you'll find a bunch of new random textures that you haven't seen before, and you're going to be like, oh my god, I've never seen this, and it's going to be awesome, and that's that. I guess the other big ones is like this snowgrass texture here, which is really high def for what it for how often it's seen. I mean, it's like a super high def texture.
The master is on vacation. Don't listen to Dervin.
Who's talking to me? Go away. I'm going to kill you. And the other one is the new Snow Rocks texture. Those are the two big snow texture updates. And then we have, of course, the new snow the projected normal and the projected diffuse, which is what you see on the rocks and stuff like that. So everything else looks like it's showing up. New pine forest textures are showing up fine. So I don't think I've forgotten to include anything in the zip. I think I'm good, and I can go ahead and finish up the Dawnguard textures right now and move on. The waters are going to nag at me because I think the numbers are flipped. I think there's a couple of things in the water, but I'll do that off stream. Like, y'all don't have to sit with me through that. Everything else seems pretty good. Let me check one more place. COC Riften Stables. This is everybody's favorite place, is Riften. They're gonna get mad at me if I don't leave. Start yelling at me. Right, Grit? He doesn't care anymore. I think we bumped it up to 32K. Yep, new textures in the Rift are showing up fine. I'm going to show you the Rat Way. We bumped it up to 32K ants. Each texture is 256 megabytes for the ants. That's the diffuse and the normal. So it's 500 megabytes just for ants. Shut up, fuckface.
You could pretend not to hear me all you want.
You must be new in town. Yeah, I can't wait to release it and let everybody see what it's all about. So let's go down the Rat Way. First thing I did is remade all the Riften or the Rat Way dirt and moss. It's dirt moss, and that's what's appearing up here on the ceiling and on the floor, all through here. So this is a new texture, and it looks perfectly fine. Move on. But yeah, it's a very popular texture just because you see it literally everywhere. And then the other texture is the floors. Oops. And that is going to be over here. I'm going to need a torch because I can't see jack diddly. Alright, let's find out where we're at here. Here we go. And so now we have these new tile floors, which look so much better than what I had before. I'm going to see if I can get to that cool place. There's this one place that I want to get to, and I don't know where it is. Let's drop this. There we go. Let's go over here. I need all of the JK interior patches because the JK interiors for me is so jacked up beyond recognition. I have so many, like, here we go. Case in point, this crap. There's more of them. Trust me. There's more issues, but I think I'm the only one with these problems. Here we go. So, we can get rid of this now. Here it is. So these new ground textures here. New dirt, as you can see, right there. And then the new tiles. The other ones were like these hand-drawn tiles trying to follow the vanilla layout. Because I did Riften years ago. And I was still kind of learning my way around. And so, yeah, new floors in here. The other ones were so bad, and these look so much nicer and better now. So that makes me happy. Whiterun Drunken Huntsman? Yeah, that is a code. I win. Let's leave. The Drunken Huntsman is so stupid. It's like the one building I never go into. I know a lot of people go there for all of their archery needs, and that's fine. I don't. I go... There's only one place in Whiterun where I would be buying and selling, and that's Bellathor, because you can trust a guy who would sell his own sister.
Well met, Kinsler.
We love Mr. Bellathor. Adriana's okay. Her husband's cool, but she's kind of a whiny little bitch. Look at this. It's like I have Lux in here. This is horrible looking.
Get out.
Oh, get out. Oh, he's mad at me. Well, kill. Anybody who yells at me to get out, I just use the kill command on, because they're apparently rats. Yeah, so everything looks fine in here. We have new stairs. Forgot about that. That's good. The reason I redid the stairs is because they also show up in Sovngarde, and Sovngarde didn't look good with the other Whiterun stairs, and on top of that, the other Whiterun stairs just didn't look good, and these look so much better. So much better. Yeah, these new stairs are, they're happening. They're in vogue. Set game hour to 10. And now there's no more annoying...
It's no fun getting pushed around all the time.
Bald guy
Lately it seems I am more nursed than
chopping wood over here. Yay. Nobody going, oh, I'm too busy to talk.
What are you looking at? I'm not afraid of you.
Yeah. Yeah, this does look really good. This looks very artistic and very fantasy. So be excited for the new AIO, because it's a doozy. And after that, after this AIO and Dawnguard goes out, I think we're all done. I have to do Solheim. I mean, yeah. Right? Like, that's basically it. Oh, my computer audio is so loud right now. Y'all gotta warn me about this shit. So, Solheim. Let's talk about that. Who's Heimsker? I don't know. Hello, Heimsker. So let's talk about Solheim. Raven Rock is done. I retextured it, and it was just on a whim. I wasn't planning on doing it. I was talking with Shane, and we were talking about rallies, and rallies was really good. And I was like, well, I got to do it too, blah, blah, for Skyland and stuff. And he was like, well, I just don't think you could do better than rallies. And like, honestly, I don't think it is better than rallies, but it's good. But it's done. I'm also going to redo the Solheim landscapes, because when I did it as quickly as possible, because I didn't want to do them. And so I'm going to redo all of those textures again. So if you don't like the landscapes up north, up here, yeah, Solheim. If you don't like the current Skyland landscape textures, you can expect new ones. Oh, the Talos Preacher. Okay, let's go say hi to him. I didn't know he had a name. As you can see, I don't play with a HUD, so I don't know people's names. If you're like, crazy yelling guy in Whiterun, I'm like, yeah, that guy, the preacher, Talos Preacher. Here he is. Dance. Dance, monkey. I want you to dance. Oh, no. Oh, well. It crashed. I forgot. I have this mod installed that if I push the end button, it just makes everything just go stupid craig. So, we have to do the Solheim mushrooms. And I cannot do those because I don't know how. They're very odd. But I can do this. And this I want to kind of do... I want to do the... Where is it at? Let's do Skyrim. I want to do Skyrim DLC. Yeah. DLC textures. Is it 2? Architecture? Nope, that's Raven Rock. Okay, so Skyline Textures DLC 1. Dungeons. Castle. This. I'm going to copy this real quick. Actually, let's just open these up. So this guy. Right? And I want to see if this will just work. I don't know if it will or not. But I'm doing this before I freaking forget. Actually, let's do this differently. Let's do this. I'm just going to do a copy and hard paste. And then I'm going to do a... Put it in a folder. And then I'm going to add an adjustment layer to the folder for hue and saturation. We're going to hit... Not this button. We're going to hit colorize. Yes, we are going to hit this button. And we're going to go over to our blue. See if we can raise this up. Like that. Do some saturation. Do a little bit of that. And I'm going to do like that, I think. And then I'm going to set that to like overlay. And let's select this. And let's do a select modify, contract by 1. Select inverse, delete. And then we can back this up. So you can see a difference here. This is blue, this is kind of green. That's really all we did. And I was thinking, like, would it be cool to do this for all of them? Right? I don't know if it would be or not. It might just be too much freaking work. So just kind of come in here and just select all of these and make them all blue. Because I was thinking I want to use this in Solitude before I forget, because I keep forgetting to freaking do it. Let's do this. Boom. Oh, doesn't want to. Oh, because I wanted to put this here. There. So now it just automatically will color them blue. So I don't know if doing these all in blue would make a big difference visually. I mean, here we can kind of see the difference. But I just thought, you know, it's the Blue Palace. Make them blue. And it would just be kind of a cool idea. A little bit of some storytelling going on with the textures. But it would probably just go over players' heads and they probably wouldn't even appreciate it anyway. So I don't know. I don't know. I'm just kind of just doing for my own satisfaction of what I thought were cool ideas. But I guess we can go through with it. And then I can adjust the... I can feather it and do all of that stuff to the selections after it's kind of done here. And I would try to redo it. I'm gonna work on the normal map and make it a little less rough, because in the Vampire Castle I made it all scratched up and very rough looking because it's an old castle and it's kind of rough looking. And for the Blue Palace, since it's essentially the Imperial presence within Skyrim, it's going to be nice and clean and polished. Like, they throw money at that floor. They throw money at it. And so we're going to throw money at it too and make it nice and smooth and clean and shiny. It's kind of what I was thinking of doing. Alright, so now all of those are blue. And it's just very easy just to kind of just select all of them. It just is kind of time consuming, really. That's all it really kind of is. But once I get done selecting all of these things, I wonder, actually, let me see here. I'm going to do this real quick. I'm going to get this guy out. Set it to like 50. Oh, down here, please. Thank you. You know what? I could just do this. Let's do 40. Right. Let me duplicate this guy. Desaturate. Set our levels. I just wanted to see, like, if I could even do this here. Now, I'm going to pop this up into here. Now, let's do this one more time. Pop this into here. Desaturate. L. There we go. This is kind of what I was thinking it should look like. Right? So there's this guy. I'm going to turn these off real quick here. And now this, I'm going to set to... What am I looking to set it to? Something like this. This is already set to that, which is good. Like, I just wanted to get basically just like the marble veins to be blue. But it looks like it wants to not play ball. It's going to be that, or it's going to be that. And it sets the whole thing blue, which is not really what I want. Damn it. Oh well. But if I do it this way, it will work. Go. Sometimes Photoshop works and sometimes it doesn't, and you have to just do things manually, and it really sucks. And now my 3D Studio Max is jacked up, but they've been kind of going downhill. I'm gonna be like honest with you. It seems like as soon as companies go to a subscription-based service, they start really jacking things up, and they start focusing on, you know, bringing in the Benjamins other than helping the industry that of which they're known for. For instance, Autodesk, who makes AutoCAD for engineers, architects, designers, people who work at NASA, you know, they make programs. I mean, they use AutoCAD to like build fucking satellites and shit, right? AutoCAD's a very important company. In fact, I dare say that if Autodesk was going to go out of business, if like something really jacked up happened at Autodesk, I would put money down that the government would bail out Autodesk, because I mean, you're talking about places like Lockheed would not be able to design aircraft without AutoCAD and Revit and these other programs that Autodesk makes. So once they went to subscription based, they haven't really invented anything new. Whereas before, you could watch their annual update on like what Autodesk was doing, and they would be bringing these new engines inside 3D Studio Max and AutoCAD and stuff. Like, this program can now do this and this thing, and they became like industry game changers. Like when they brought their fluid stuff to the table, all of a sudden you started seeing like better waves and Armageddon flooding in movies and video games, and their hair stuff and fabric flow, and all of a sudden these games were now had these things because 3D Studio Max offered it in Maya, and like Autodesk offered it in Maya and 3D Studio Max and stuff. And it was like the same thing with Adobe bringing stuff to the table. And now that they're subscription based, nothing really new in the programs. That blows my mind that I couldn't do before. It now has a lot more bugs, and the prices are sky high to just buy the software, or I can spend $300 a year for the subscription. And I'm like, this doesn't help me at all. Like, I just wish I could just buy the software for back what it used to be for like a couple $100. Or, you know, I'll pay you, you know, $5 a month to use it. I mean, Photoshop's $10 a month, so I don't mind doing the Photoshop thing. And it, you know, I use it a lot for work. But damn, if it's not just like, these other things are just stupid expensive. And they brought nothing new to the table except for bugs. And I hate that. And Photoshop is the worst out of all of them at this point. Photoshop has been the absolute worst. I cannot stand the new Photoshops. Their normal map generator used to be awesome. So many awesome things. It used to just work well. Now it just doesn't even work well. I'll turn on Photoshop, load up an image, and then it wants to hang for about 10-15 seconds every single time. Even on a new build, new install, the bugs come with the program. It's not a system issue. The normal map generator freezes the program. You got to restart it. Of course, they say they're discontinuing it, but they still include it for some reason, even in its buggy nature, when before it wasn't buggy at all. So I don't know what they changed. So I don't get it. They know people like me and other devs use Photoshop, so I don't know. I don't know why they felt like they had to, you know, fuck with something. They didn't. They could have just kept it as it was. The only thing you really need to bring to the table is just address people's issues they're having with new hardware, any other bugs found, and just introduce new stuff. Introduce new game changers. Nah. Just break it to fix it, and then charge me a monthly fee to use it. For a... what would be a good word to say? For the opportunity to use it. The honor. And be grateful while I'm at it. Luckily, we have new big players. GIMP being one of them. GIMP has really stepped their game up. I want to say a lot. GIMP has really stepped their game up. And Affinity for $20 on sale for $20. Affinity is basically just like Photoshop. And you can even use Photoshop plugins with Affinity. So your DDL plugins or your DDS plugins, they'll work. Anything else works. Action scripts work. You can even open up Photoshop files. Now, I don't know if you can save Photoshop files out of Affinity. You might be able to. I think you can export them. I'd have to open up Affinity and see again. But holy shit. I know that texture is a... yeah, I think it is. And hello, Kono. All I got to do is this top row and we're done. So, for me, before you go spend your hard-earned money on Photoshop, check out the options. GIMP is free, and Affinity comes with like a 1-month free freaking trial. Right? And there's a shit ton of tutorials on YouTube for Affinity and some of the tutorials are really cool, like how to make Affinity look just like Photoshop, as in like the user interface, like relining up your toolbar. And then there's tutorials like this is how you would do it in Photoshop, this is how you do it in Affinity, type of a deal. So that's what I like. And I hope that Affinity makes enough money to where they can create other things like video editors and stuff, which I've been using DaVinci and have been having a lot of fun with DaVinci. And they have a free version, and that's what I use. And I get good results. I haven't hit a brick wall with it yet. Of course, I've not really pushed it to its limits, but I've done really well with it. So here we're going to select all of our diamonds. And now I'm going to try this and see if it works. But let's duplicate it in case it doesn't. We're going to do a select, modify feather. I'm going to do something like 3. And then select inverse and just kind of hit delete a couple times. And then deselect. And that should just kind of soften shit up, which it did. Beautiful. And now I'm going to do a save as. And we're going to go into Skyrim. Actually, let's do it in game. Skyland. Here. No. I want to go into my mods folder. I used to have a textures folder here, and now I don't. Oh, no. Okay. So let me go into games. Nope. Back up. Skyrim. Games. Skyrim programs. Mod Organizer 2. Mods. Let me see. I can see better on this screen for reading. Skyland AIO. Textures. Architecture. Solitude. Yes. And then S Floor House 02. Yes, I would like to replace it. Yes. Nice. What I should have done was saved that. File, save as. Here it is. I'm going to copy this. And I'm going to open up a folder here and just go here. I'm going to do this. Bam. Aw. Textures. Enter. Back it up. And now I'm going to right click and hit pin to quick access. There we go. All right. So now that that's saved, let's look at the normal map. Here it is. So this normal map has some funky going on. There's a lot of movement. It's not very smooth. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and smooth it out here. And I think I have the original. Here. So we're going to go into Skyrim. Test. What is this called here? What are we working on? Sovngarde. There's our Sovngarde output. Which I really don't need this. What I do need is my DLC 01. I can't remember what it's called. I don't think I have something called Dawn Guard output. Oh, I do have Dawn Guard output. Floor. That's not the floor. Ceiling, trim. Not what I'm looking for. This is called Castle. Stone floor. No. Okay, so I don't have it. So we're just going to do this a manual way. We're just going to create a color 128, 128, 255. New layer. Paint. We took all of the details out, and I'm just going to lower this like 50%. And then in here, now you can see all the scratchies, right? What we're going to do is copy this. No, copy this. Come into here. And I'm just going to put a white layer on top of this. And just kind of just bring it back to something about like this. Yeah. And then I'm going to steal. Nope. Let's just do this. Put that right there. And then I'm going to do a save as. And this is going to be saved into textures. Right here. Architecture. Solitude. Right there. Alpha. Fine and linear. Let's go check that out in game. So that's a lot off my mind because that's been bothering me for days. I've just been like trying to remember to do that. I keep forgetting. And I need another coffee. Who's all with me? We're an hour and a half into this thing and we're almost done. Make sure you like the video, which you have been, so thank you very much. It just helps me out a lot with the helps me out a lot for some reason. YouTube likes it. So while this loads up, I'm going to get myself a coffee. So enjoy it loading the fuck up, I guess. I don't know. Here it is. All right, coffees are brewing. Let's just do I'm looking forward to the new AIOs myself too. Yar. Oh, fuck off. Help! Trespasser! Not only am I the Dragonborn, I know console commands. Like, kill all. You shall die. No, don't need this, but thank you. Set game hour to 11. Let's get some light in here. So we're going to check out our manhole cover. That's a big one. And we're going to see the stone floors in the Blue Palace, which is also a big thing. The God mode. So I don't run out of stamina, so I can get to places quickly. One thing is, like, yeah, it's PC and stuff. I really don't like to COC into cities. Like, while I know scripts haven't activated there yet. So since this is a new game, they haven't chopped the dude's head off yet. And if you just COC into the city, you might jack a lot of stuff up. Just like if you use a fast travel into the city before they do this scene, you might have an issue. Everybody goes, oh, use the same roads in Whiterun that you did in Solitude. No, no, no. As you can see, these roads are much more bumpy and cleaner than what I did in Whiterun. Yay! It looks really good. I like the way the light moves across it. That door is really bright. Mario, remind me to look at this metal when I get out of here. Metal's super bright.
Hello, I'm Gisley.
It should be as dark as the manhole. Yeah, this metal is way too bright. I think it's one of those 32-bit textures that brighten themselves up. Okay, let's check out the floors. Fingers crossed it looks good. I have my fingers crossed. You can do whatever you want. Usually it's very rare that I get a texture right on the first try. Oh! Let's go upstairs, where we can actually see things. Yeah! Just enough normal map in there to look cool. Let's do set game hour 222. Yeah. You look like a hoe. That looks like a marble floor to me. You really can't tell that these are blue diamonds, but they're not at least olive green like they were before. What do y'all think about that? Do you like it more? Oh, there's a whole dining room back here now. I've never been in the Blue Palace with JK's interiors. But this picture, and I don't know what mod is adding these pictures, but it blocks the door. And there needs to be a lot more fucking light in here. It's a palace. There's not even any torches in the entryway. Even without an EMB, it's dark. Somebody's got to turn some lights on in there. It's the palace. Yeah. If you like blue, yeah. But the other ones were good too. It's just they looked a little amateur, I think. So the only thing that I'm seeing an issue of in here is this metal is really bright, and it should be that dark. Do we see a difference here? It might be Snazzy Mod. That's a good call. So let's do a quickie save and get out before it crashes. Door, yes. So I need to find. Let's do this and architecture and solitude. Metal. Okay. Yep. Nope. That's just how shitty they look. So I'm going to adjust these because I'm not happy with how bright they are. Alright. About like this. And let's select this guy. He seems to be confused as to what he's supposed to be doing. I'm going to put some curves on him. And then I'm going to do less contrast. Actually, let's do a saturation. Use a bit cray-cray. Back it up. Actually, I'm not going to do that yet on him. I am going to do the brightness contrast. No contrast. See how it just does this weird, it's like going rainbow on me. So I think the curves is the best thing to do with him. Kind of bring it down to standard here. Now I'm going to do a hue saturation and just kind of pump that down a little bit. There we go. And we're going to do color, linear, and then in here I'm going to do the exact same thing I just did. Let's do this brightness. I'm going to do a little more contrast because I seem to lose contrast when I go down in brightness. And then let's do hue saturation and just pull that down just a hair. Let's pop that as a save. Good. And now I'm going to do that again. Let me see here. So I can read. I am using the Snazzy Furniture Clutter Overhaul SE. Yes. That's what I'm using. Because it covers so much. Wait a minute. Something about that table that's fishy. This guy. Moving on. It just covers everything, you know? So, instead of me... Because I'm not going to go... This is why I don't use the Lupo's tree mod. Right? Because I'm not downloading 5 fucking mods for trees. 1 mod. Sorry. Let me get the... I gotta get y'all back up again. Hold on. Boom. No. Just give me the... I just want that. Thank you. Okay. So this is cool. So yeah, it's the Snazzy mod. I'll just see if I can reinstall it, and hopefully it has a faux mod that says not pictures. Don't install pictures. That's why I like faux mods. No. And set game hour to 10. Set game hour to 10. TGM. Oh, these doors. This is why I went to Blue Palace. Yeah, that's a lot better. It just blends in with the stonework a lot more. Still have all that detail there. We're good. Let us continue and look at the front gate while we're at it. Just small little tweaks here and there, just to perfect things. Because, yep, I'm going to be honest with everyone right now. I'm not looking to update Skyland again. This is pretty much going to be it. When this update goes out, I think that's going to be it. After, well, the only update's going to be adding Solheim or the Dragonborn mod to the AIO later on. Okay, and this still looks good. So, but the base game textures, I'm looking to never do another update. This is going to be the end of the line for that, and then after Solheim comes out, that's going to be it for Skyland. There will be no more Skyland mods. I don't plan on any more Skyland mods after Dragonborn. So, after I release Dawnguard, not this Friday, but no. Yeah, this Friday. Is that correct? I have to think about it. Oh, let's look at the Ivy real quick. New Ivy. What do you think about that shit, huh? New Ivy. So yeah, so after Dragonborn comes out, whenever that is, I'm gonna take a break, like maybe a week or two. I'll still stream, but I'm not going to do modding. I'm gonna jump into Solheim and knock it out. It'll be probably a month or so of work. And then after Solheim comes out, I will add it to the AIO and update the AIO. And for Xbox, you'll get the DLC AIO updated. Unless, barring from any major issues with any Skyland mod, that's it. I think Skyland's going to be done. I think that's going to be the end of the line. Like I said, I don't plan on doing any... My original plan years ago was to do architecture and landscape. And once Solheim's done, that's going to be it for landscape and architecture. There'll be nothing left for me to do. Unless I'm literally missing something major. Like, hey, you didn't do this architecture. Or this piece of architecture. Or, you know, if it's something major, I might go and bust that out. But I have not heard anybody say, hey, this is missing. I have not gotten any of those messages. Somebody asked if I would do the sparkly ceilings in the Fulmer caves, and I think I said no at the time. I think I might do it. We'll see. Because it makes sense. I should do it. But that's the only one that I can think of, if any, from somebody asking if I was going to do something. All of the other stuff that people asked if I was going to do, I've done. Because they've been like, oh, are you going to do Windhelm? Or are you going to do Skyhaven Temple? Or are you going to do Sovngarde? So those have been done. At this point, I can't think of anything else that I need to do outside of Solheim. So the Dragonborn DLC is the only thing left to do. And at that point, I don't believe there'll be any more Skyland mods. And that means that there'll be no more creating Skyland streams, because there's nothing left to create. Blackreach is in the Landscape AIO. Yep. Blackreach is there. Now, if you don't have the architecture stuff, you're not going to get any of the Dwemer architecture stuff in there. That'll all be vanilla. But yeah, Blackreach is all done. And that includes roads also. So the Blackreach road is this road. Because Blackreach uses this dirt. So it doesn't make sense to make a different road. Dragon Bridge, of course, is covered in landscapes. So yeah, unless I get major requests or something to do something else, there's not going to be any more Skyland mods. after Solheim. Which is going to be a little bittersweet. A little bittersweet because I've been working on it since like 2016. A long, long time. And it's come a long, long, long way. I do have to update all of the mod pages with new pictures and stuff like that. And I've got to update all of the individual mods again. But at least I'll never have to do it again. That's the bitch, is uploading all of the mods. I hate it. Hey, horse. You're a good-looking horse. I mean, you're kind of pixely, but you look better than vanilla.
Make yourself useful and chop up some
Yeah, I've not done Apocrypha yet. Apocrypha? I've not done it. In fact, I've never even been there in-game. Hey, Brandy, good to see you. But I will do it. I'm looking forward to doing it. It looks very challenging to do. And I like a good challenge. I do like a good challenge. So yeah, that's gonna be really super fun to do. I'm just checking to make sure I have things here. Hello, Susan. Hey, Grit. Hey. So let's talk about our cats. We have the Grit, and then over there we have little Miss Belle. Belle, Belle. Hey, Belle. Hey, Belle. So that's Belle. And here is the Grit. Grit. Say hi, Grit. No, Grit does not want to say hi right now. Oh! All right. Yes, so now I'm checking the Markarth out. I like the metal textures that I put in here. I think they're cool. Markarth looks like it's coming off without a hitch. It's been included. This makes me super happy. I'm glad Markarth was redone. It looks so much better than what it did before. I mean, come on. Really? Oh! You. This. Nope. This. Kill.
I die for my people.
What? What do you want?
Everyone,
Hi.
stay back. The Markarth City Guard have this all under control.
You have it all under control? Okay, good. I'm out. Yeah, I mean, come on. That's pretty. No, I didn't see anything. Go. What? Hi. Hi. Alright, I'm going to get my coffee now. I think it's done. I want to get it before it gets cold. Grit, keep them company. I'll be right back.
The finest jewelry in all of Markarth.
Bloodiest beef in the reach.
Redguard craftsmanship in every piece.
Mmm. Thank you, Brandy. I do think it is very nice. It came out so much better.
Want a cut of venison or mutton?
So, I think we're good. I think what I'm going to do is a quick save and get out. And I'm not going to toot my own horn, but I'm going to agree with that Skyland is one of the better ones. Skyland Markarth is one of the better ones. This is good, and that's bad. Okay. So, I'm going to take this. Well, this, and this. I want all of these. Thank you. Control C. Then I'm going to open up another folder, and we're going to go into our Skyrim, Skyland AIO, Solitude, Data, Textures, Architecture, Solitude, and Control V. Nice. All right, so those changes have been updated now. Now I'm going to go into my mods Skyland AIO. I'm going to get out of here and go into here. Vanilla DLC Textures, Skyline Textures, DLC 01. Here's our Soul Cairn. Textures, DLC 02. Now, I've not installed my DLC 01. Let me make sure. Yeah. So I don't have the Dawnguard stuff installed in my game yet. I didn't include them in the AIO yet. So we want to redo this guy. And we want to redo this and this. Okay. And the glow, I'm not going to touch. And then I want to redo the Falmer Hut 1 and 2. Falmer Tent and Falmer Hut. And again, I'm not going to touch anything really for the glow maps. Get everything in order. Okay. So these are already at 1K. So let's get these 2048. Let's get these up to 2K here. Image size 2048. And you can kind of see here, this is at 100%, how it's kind of grainy. If I get really close, you can really see just how blurry it is. And I'm going to do it with the normals also. Image size 2048. So we're making these 2K instead of their default 1K in size. Very simple. Same thing for this. 2048. This is one of my things that I always forget to do, is to change the texture size. And I'll make them and then be like, it'll just look like crap in game. And I'm like, what's going on? And then it's like, oh, you did it at 1K. The bridge is going to be, the door is going to be a little tricky. It's just a lot of highlights and there's some shadows and stuff. So it shouldn't be too hard. It's just going to be lining it up. And it is metal. So let's talk about doing these. First of all, let's talk about these textures because they're very interesting. You can see how hand-drawn these are. This is all hand-drawn. This is not from Substance Designer or Substance Painter. The leather, everything. This is all hand-drawn. And it's cool. So what we're going to do is save these out to our desktop as JPEGs. New folder. I'm just going to call this Falmer right now. And I'm going to do it as a JPEG. And I'm going to keep its name. Okay? So I know what textures they go to. So there's that. I'm going to take this, save as a copy. To save as a JPEG now in Photoshop, you have to hit save as a copy, by the way. Which is fucking stupid. File, save as a copy. Before, you could just hit save as and just save it as a JPEG. I don't know why they invented this. If somebody can answer that for me, I'd be stoked to understand the thinking behind that logic. So we have these 3 diffuse textures. And now I'm going to open up another one, another folder here, and go to my C drive. And I'm going to open up ESGRAN. All right. And I'm going to delete these because I don't need them. In fact, I don't even think I need this. All right. Now here's the cool part. I'm going to copy my little command line here that I've written for myself. And we're going to go into command prompt, right? I'm going to run this as administrator. It's just always good to run it as admin. And I'm going to go to my Esgran folder. And I'm going to paste in that command line that I did. Actually, I need to copy. I need to open up my Fulmer. Close those. I need to open up my Fulmer stuff here real quick. I need to copy these and put them into here. Okay. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to type in Fulmer bridge _ D. And then I'm just going to hit enter. And now what this is doing is this is, oh, why did you fail? Decode image failed. Let's try this again. Actually, I'm just going to rename this to F1. .jpg. I'm going to copy this. Paste it. Enter. Hopefully it'll work. Why did you fail? I'm running you as a... Yeah, you could do export as, but that's... I mean, I would rather just hit Control S and then choose my format that I'm saving it as instead of Control Shift S, which I've got to learn it. The habit is Control S. It's because ever since Photoshop 3.1 in 1998, that's what I've been doing. So I'm just like, I hate it. Why are you failing? Let me open you up in Photoshop here. Open up with Photoshop. Save as JPEG. F1. Yes. Yes. So now you're a brand new JPEG again. Go. Okay, so maybe I need... let me do this. Let me restore these guys. Okay. I'm going to delete. Hey, Grit. I want to delete these. I'm going to delete this. Actually, I'm going to delete this one. And then go into here and just hit. I'll save as F1. Save. All right. We'll copy here. Do this. There we go. So I must have deleted something. So basically this is upscaling it 4 times. So from 2K to 8K. Which I think is a bit of a stretch. So we're going to take the 8K, and fit it into 2K. Because I'm not doing 8K Fulmer tents and huts and bridges, because that's just stupid. Right, Grit? Isn't that stupid, buddy? What do you think? What do you think, Grit? Want me on the camera more? There you go. Yeah. Meow, meow, gritty grit. Bum, 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 bum. Give me a mint, my little Grit. You can't have none of these mints. You already ate too much candy today. All right, so it's done. All right. So let's take a look at this output. Open with Photoshop. And we're going to do an image size to 2048. And I'm just going to copy that real quick and put it here. And let's do 100%. Not much of a difference. Makes me wonder. Let's do this. Let me copy this. Jeez, that's huge. Image size. Ah, sorry. Edit, transform, scale. Didn't really do much of a difference this time. I think it's because... Yeah, see? Not really much of a difference. It's slightly sharper. But I don't even think the YouTube... After YouTube compression, you'll even see a difference. Interesting. I want to try something else. Okay, let's do image size 4096. Take this output PNG here. This should be much bigger. It is. Edit, transform, scale. Great. We don't always have to hold hands, buddy. Okay. And now let's see if there's a big difference. Other than I fucked up the size. There we go. Let's make sure it's right up here. Okay. Let's zoom it back in. We're at 50%. No difference. Did it just not up convert it at all? That would be very disconcerting. Very disconcerting. Let's try getting rid of that. And I'm going to copy this, paste it in here, and I'm going to do another JPEG, which is Falmer Hut 02 _D. And it should give us a new output file right here. So this is the one that we're redoing. Is Falmer Hut _2D. This guy. So this is the quality we're looking at, and we hope to see it improve. And let's see if it does. If not, if this doesn't improve at all like it did for the vanilla Falmer textures, he always just wants to like put his paw on my hand, and I'm like, buddy, I've got to type. Especially hard like when I'm writing blog articles and stuff, and he's just like, Now he's staring at me because I've been talking crap about him. Alright, so now that's done. Let's look. We don't need this. We'll keep that open for right now. Okay, here's our output. I'm going to just drag it into here. Now let's take a look. Literally slightly sharper, but not really, which is super duper interesting. I'm going to try this other algorithm. I'm going to delete this bit and type that in one more time. What are you talking about here? Where's this other command line here? Oh, this one. Sorry. Muy bad. What are you talking about? Oh, because I put a / in front of that? Jeez. You're a work of art. Now do it. Thank you. So now we should get a new output file here. I am his minion. I am. He loves to give me like the stink eye if I didn't make his bed up right, or I'm not giving him treats. He's a very mean cat, though, I will say. Like, he just does not like people. He's okay with me, but that's about it. You're just so full of love, you don't know how to give it without being violent. Isn't that right, Grit? And you get scared too easy. Little Grit feet. Alright. Here we go. There's the output. We're going to snag that and put it right here. Put it in place. There's a big difference. There's the difference I was looking for. Here we go. So now, here's the old, new. With the YouTube degradation, I don't know if you can see the difference, but it is much bigger now. And if I just do an unsharp mask on it, old, new, old, new. You can definitely see a bigger difference. Now, the issue that I have is in some of these shadow areas, like right here, I will circle this for you. You can see that it doesn't really do much of a difference. That's why I was using the other render engine on it. Gigapixel's cool, but I just, Gigapixel's great. I don't have the money to spend on Gigapixel. But I have it installed. But, I just didn't have the $99 to spend just to upconvert 5 freaking textures, you know? So that's why I was just using this, which is basically what Gigapixel is, just with a nice interface. So I see what I was doing wrong. So the models is what we were looking at, right? I was using this Esgran X4, which I thought was a little bit better. And there's explanations you can see, right? So the real ESRnet is the other one. And you can also do the Argan one, right? So if we go into here, in fact, let's go into here and let's just delete this output real quick. We can take this, copy it, paste it, and we can choose a different model, right? And there's a wiki with all these, like, hundreds of models, and you can just find one that works better for you. But here at the end, we just type in a different model that we want, right? So we're using the real ESRnet, and I'm going to use the real ESRGAN. Real ESRGAN 4X+. And see what that looks like. And now we need to put in our input file name, which is falmerhut02_D. And now we're going to see if this model hits those shaded areas a little bit better and makes them a little sharper. Because again, I just feel like in this area, I'll again select right here, it's still blurry. In fact, it's more blurry. It didn't know what to do with those, so it just chose an average color. I'll just zoom in even more. And you'll see we actually lose detail right here. There's the original. And there's the new. So it just took an average color and just kind of blurred it. And that's really not what we're looking at. In fact, it did it here along this ridge. So that's not what we want. Whilst a lot of the textures were sharpened, it lost detail in other places. So I'm going to keep this output so we can compare it with this new one that I just got done with. There we go. I'll hit enter. So this seemed to blur it even more. It made it nice, but it took a lot of the color out and it just blurred it even more. The highlights have more detail, but the rest doesn't look good. It's like a cloudy, foggy blur that's happening on this guy. So I'm not happy with him. So now we're going to try the other model. And this is going to be the ESRGAN 4. I'm going to make sure that I'm typing this right. ESRGAN-X4. Actually, I'm going to copy this. And paste that here. ESRGAN-X4. I don't think I need an extension. Nope. And then here for our JPEG that we want to upscale is going to be, let's take this output out. And it is Falmer Hut 02_D. Please don't fail. Yes. It was failing before. But you can actually find, it's just a zip folder with these things in it. And all you have to do is just command prompt, go to this folder, go to the folder that your ESRGAN is in, and just hit run. And just type in, you know, open the README and this is the README, you know, and here's your different models. And I use this guy right here, this model. But you can go download a bunch of different other models too and see which one, if there's a better one online. But here's the GitHub link if you want to go get it. Here's our new output. And we're going to drag this here. And I'm not seeing any difference at all, which is super interesting. I mean, a little bit of sharpening, but nothing really that massive. I mean, just a little more detail in it. Off, on, off, on. Not really a lot there, which again is really, really interesting. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove all of these real quick. No, not that. I'm going to remove all of these. And I think I know the reason why that they're not doing what they're supposed to do. Let's remove this output. And let's go into here. I'm going to get rid of all of this. I'm going to get rid of this Falmer folder here because I actually don't need it. I'm going to get rid of these two. And let's get into here. Let's open up this Falmer Hut. And so this is at 1K. All right. So we're going to upgrade it to 4K. So we're going to save as into our CSGRAN as a JPEG. That's it. I'm going to keep that there. We got this running here. I'm going to go up here and snag that copy this real quick because it worked. And paste it down here. All right. So instead of going from 2K to 8K, we're going from 1K to 4K. And I think the issue is that I upscaled it in Photoshop before I saved it as a JPEG for upscaling, and that's why it ruined a lot of the but this is just a theory because it worked for the other models. So let's try it now. I hope it works. If it doesn't, then I'm just not going to do anything. Yes, it looked like it did. 100. Oh, nope. Shit. Let me back that out. Let me now go to image size 2048. Let me grab the output. And let's get it lined up. And we're at 100%. Yes! So much better. Okay, so we're at 300%. Here's the old. Here's the new. I'm going to rasterize, and I'll add my standard unsharpened mask. New, old. Even in here, it's blurry for the old, new. All the detail. You even get detail in the shadows. Look at all the cracks and stuff in here. All of these little cracks and divots. Here's the old. There's the new. So if you're going to run this, don't rescale the image first. Big difference. I really see a big difference on like the fabric. So here's the leather. Definitely a hand-painted leather. But here's the old. And here's the new. Just seems to kind of bring it to life a bit. So that right there, even at 100%, you really see a big difference. I can. On YouTube, no. So I'm going to hit Control S. Actually, let's make sure that this is still lined up. It is lined up. So I'm going to hit Control S. And I'm going to go to... blah, blah, blah. Why is it saving it in as grand? It shouldn't. Shouldn't be saving into here. Oh, it is. Whatever. So we're going to go into my F folder, Skyrim, DLC textures, Skyland textures, DLC 1. Is this correct? Dungeons. I don't think it's under castle. Let me go to DDS files here. Architecture. What is this? Falmer Hut 02? Falmer Hut 02. There we go. And just as that. So that's now saved as a new upscaled 2K version, which makes me super happy. And now we can do it to this chieftain tent here. So I can do a file save as. Actually, let's do a save as a copy, because then I don't have to find into the folder again. Save as a copy under C drive. Scran JPEG. And I'll just call it the same name. Yep. Yep. And then in here, I'll paste that and hit enter. And hopefully we should have a new output file, which would look like this. While it's doing that, I'm going to go ahead and upscale this in Photoshop to 2048. And now that's done. So let's pull this in. There it is. Rasterize, and I'll do my unsharpen mask. Ensure it's lined up and check the results. Look at this fabric. At 300%, at 100%. I like it. It's a little bit noisier, but whatever. If we don't like it that noisy, you can always not do a sharpen filter to it. right? And now we can do a save as. It saves it here perfectly. Yep, yep. And I'm just going to do color, this, because it doesn't have an alpha map. And we can close that out. Next up, I'm going to choose the bridge. And I'm going to do a save as a copy. Again, into the Asgren. JPEG. And save it as that. And then we're going to run this one more time. And while we wait, we'll go ahead and put this up to 2048 also. Now the normals I'm just going to leave at 1K, but I think I'm going to adjust their alpha maps. And we're done. Output. Check the results. Good. Save as. Yep. Yep. And yep. Now with the normals, what I've kind of noticed here, if we go in here, I'll copy this even and put it in here real quick. Transform scale. They work a lot better with a new alpha and the normals. And we know how to do that. So I just kind of lower them a lot, and I'll show you the difference. Here's the old one, and here's the new one. And it's just a little bit more subdued, not so glossy. Save this. I'm going to save it as a 1K because I really don't mind. Fine and linear. And we can call that a day. Now, if we don't like this, okay, we can always just do save as a copy and also pump these up. Right? Oops. Let's copy this. And I'll show you what that looks like. So image size. I guess we can do it. Whatever. We're already doing it. So here we can see that there's a lot of blocky that's happening. Even in the 1K version, it was really blocky. Like these gradients are not smooth. You can see banding and the gradients and stuff, and we want to avoid this. That's not really awesome. So let's take our output and just drag it into there. And now there's not any more, well, there's still some banding, but there's a lot more detail. And then in here, I will copy this and paste it here and line it up. And just do this one more time. And then we can save that out. And we're donesies. And that did save in the right place. Good. The other two is this. So these two normals. We can do save as a copy. As grand JPEG. Yep, yep. Now we'll snag this. And do that. And then here, image size 2048. Let me make sure those other ones were done too at 2048. Yep. Yep. Okay, cool. So now we have this guy done. Throw it in here. And I'm going to snag its diffuse real quick, which is here. Paste that. Because I don't like how glossy and slimy they look. That's just me, though. Then I'm going to save this. That's done. And then we'll go ahead and do the very last one. And we'll grab our code. Paste it. And now we're done upscaling. We're all done. And now we can go and build the door. Oh, we got to upscale this real quick. Now I'll snag this, put it here. Little bit of a difference. Not as much. In fact, not really at all. I mean, there's a bit. Actually, yeah, it is a pretty big difference. Okay. And then let me get the chieftain tint. Back this out. Make sure it's lined up. And there we go. Put that here. And then save that out. Alright. The Dawn Guard is now... All Dawn Guard is now done. Yep. So let's go test it out in game, because I want to see what they look like. That's going to be very interesting for me, is to see what these look like. And now we can close that down. We can close this down. Empty this. And I'm going to go ahead and kick up Quixel Mixer too, because that's what we're going to build our door in. Is everybody enjoying themselves? I hope you are. I think I want pizza. I think I have a pizza in the fridge, and I think I'm going to make it, because I think I want it. Let's see if I can remember the COC code for the Falmer stuff. So help DLCO2. Let me see. Help DLC. Oh, I think it's 1. Let me see. Help DLC 01. No. Okay, help Veil. No. Help Falmer. No. Yeah. Here we go. COC DLC1Z Falmer Valley 01. Thank you, Tomba. Thank you very much. I'm trying over here. I try to keep it engaging and interesting and talk to people and we can all hang out and stuff. I mean, I'll pull out my Star Wars helmets again and we can play Darth Vader like we did last time. Actually, it wasn't last time. It was a few times ago. We played Darth Vader. I hear water. I don't know why. Oh. I'm going to do TGM. Oh. Interesting. And it won't let me go at all. TCL? There we go. We're going to TCL this crap. So I don't even know where I am. Oh! Is it a meatball? No, it's a cheese and pepperoni. That's what I like. And we're back in somewhere. Look, man, I just want to see the Falmer stuff. Okay, I know what this is now. Okay, so I'm going to redo that texture. Doesn't take much. But now I found where it is, so... Yeah, that right there is going to have to be redone. Because that's just pixely and nasty looking. So we've seen the Snow Elf ruins already. Let's do Help Falmer again. Now I'm going to go to COC DLC 1Z Falmer. Oh, let's just go to, yeah, DLC 1Z Falmer Ravine start. What? COC DLC 1 Falmer Ravine start. Here we go. Nice. Let's do FW10A234 and set game hour to 14. There we go. Now we can see some shit. So, upscaled textures. Let's see what it looks like inside. Doesn't look as good as the hay, but it doesn't look blurry. And it's not slimy looking, which is all we really wanted, just to make it look a little bit more. You know what? Bye-bye. And here's the Falmer Bridge. Looks a little blurry, but I'm not going to make it 4K. Thank you very much. The Windhelm mod was fun. Challenging and fun. Took a lot longer than I wanted it to. So yeah, Falmer huts are fine. Was there cloth in these things or not? The normal map isn't too cray-cray. You can definitely see a lot more noise in these, a lot more detail, which I'm fine with. Yeah. Yeah, this is all fine. Cool. Let's go up here. If you haven't seen, oh wait, I don't have these installed. These are the vanilla textures. Because I've not added this to the AIO. Ha 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 ha. My bad. So you see how the terrain is, how it's all like all scooped and stuff in here, and they just have the rock meshes over it, like these rock meshes here in front of it. That's how the roads are. So if you remove the road meshes, you get these weird dips and sinkholes everywhere, and it just doesn't look good. Okay, so I'm cool with all of that crap. The Falmer stuff is fine. I wasn't expecting miracles, but it looks better than vanilla, and I can say that at least I did it. Oh, you know what we didn't do? Holy shit. What we completely forgot to do for Dawn Guard. This is going to have to be another stream. Because I want my pizza. Not TFC. TCL. Okay. Hey, Bubba. I just have one question that's probably been asked before. If we were going to go and play the DLC of Skyrim, if it would be modded with your mods you've released, or is it the base game only? What? Okay. I just have one question that's probably been asked before. If we were to go and play the DLC of Skyrim, would it be modded? What? Okay. Before, if we were to go and play the DLC, if you've already played the DLC and then you install Skyland, it'll be okay. You'll see the new Skyland stuff. If you don't have Skyland, you won't see any Skyland stuff. But you can, if you go, oh, yeah, so I haven't released the DLC stuff. The only DLC stuff that's currently released for Skyland is Solheim Landscapes. So you've not seen any of this stuff in-game yet, because it's not in any AIOs. I hope that answers your question. I can close this. Let me tell you what we've forgotten here. Where is it? You have all of that. This is my stuff, I believe. Let me see. Yeah, that's me. Okay, here it is. Here's what we didn't do. The clutter folder. Look at all of these textures. Now, I'm not going to redo all of these, of course. Right? But I need to figure out which of these textures I need to do. Some of these are actually just clutter, like buckets. And I'm not doing buckets, right? I'm not doing traps, right? But I've got to do shiny metal. I don't know what temp V1 is. I'm not doing torture tool. So this I can get rid of. Okay, this is gone. Goodbye. Rust metal I want to do. I'm not going to do this knife. I need to do this dull bronze metal. I'm not going to do this chest. Am I? No, that's clutter. A chest is clutter. I don't do chests. Sorry. I don't do clutter. Because that's not what Skyland does. Crystal stone, I'll keep. This DLC blood, I'll keep. This blood potion, no, because I don't do potion bottles. I don't do buckets. There's this casket stone we can take a look at. Chalice, nope. It's outside of our realm of what we do. Dwemer schematic, nope. The crystals I'll keep for right now. Moth Glade Boulder, which we'll keep. Moth Glade Trim, yes. DLC 1 Snow Elf Goblet, no. Bowl, no. You know what? I might keep those because those might actually go in the thing that I need to do. And it looks like they need to be matching the Snow Elf Ruins, which I have. Tankard Blood, no. Vampire Lord Statue, we don't do statues. Vampire Meat, no. Vampire Meat. Vampire Statue, no. Okay. So these are the clutter textures I need to do. We think, so far. Sorry, got to answer my question. Okay, very good. Would you ever attempt to do cube maps where things like metal or even leather looks better overall in game? There's, let me see if I can find it here. So in Har, oh, and by the way, Sovngarde made hot files, which is a shock to me. So, right? So there's some cube map mods already in here, which look really good. Really good cube maps already in Nexus that I suggest you go and check out. And I know that, like, things like, I think Cathedral Weapons has these cube maps and stuff. But I don't make cube maps. I try not to. It's kind of a different science than what I usually do. So I'm not really a pro at making cube maps. Just like I'm not really a pro at making LUTs. You know, I can make LUTs. I know the theory behind it. I'm not a pro at it. And I think cube maps would kind of be the same thing. You know, where you take like a 360 HDRI image and then you can bust a cube map out of it. But it would just be so much trial and error. But there's so many good cube maps that are already on Nexus, and as you can see, there's a shit ton of them. Well, there's one page, so there's 10 of them, right? I think I used this one here, but I've downloaded more, I want to say. But yeah, so this is basically an HDRI image, but it's in a circle as opposed to being a horizontal football looking one. This one, everybody's seen this one. This is old school. This has been around for years. This is in so many 3D programs. It's hilarious. But you can also make your own by just taking a picture and go to like Michael's or somewhere and buy a chrome ball and just take a picture into it, and you can kind of make your own here. But you have to take the pictures have to be what is that called? Let me look in Adobe. They have to be a raw file image. You have to use raw file image. But you can definitely make your own if you want to go take pictures and shit like that. I'm trying to see if they have like any like user images here into these things. Let me see. Not really any user images that I can show on stream, obviously. But yeah, so if you like super glossy and stuff, cube maps are the way to go. The vanilla ones, I'm not really too big on. I think I use the Shiny Materials cube maps, I think, if I'm going to be honest with you. I think this is the one that I really use. Yeah, that looks like the one I like to use. Because a lot of this stuff in-game is like super flat. And so you kind of need a cube map mod. And these work on Xbox too. I believe these work on Xbox. So get them while you can. All right, let's move on into this clutter. Frayed rope, red water skooma. So I'm not going to do any of that. Meadery, barrels, nope. Ingredients, that's plants. So that's a flora mod, which I don't do. Delete. Charis cocoon, nope. And this looks like a statue, which... Oh, I do want to do this, because this goes with the top of the snow elf shrines. So this I have to do. Because to me, that's a part of the architecture. You can call it a statue if you want. I don't think it is. I mean, it might be a statue somewhere, but for me, it's kind of like... whatever. Anyway, goblet. So this goblet here looks very much like my architecture I've already made for the snow elf ruins. The stone bowl looks like a quick and easy texture I can actually just kind of bust out. So I'll do that bowl too. And that bowl might be the bowl that's in the shrines, but I could be completely wrong about that. I have to do the metal bronze because that's what's on the doors, and the metal here, all of this metal has to be done. And then metal light. Again, this temp V1, I don't know what it is. And then wavy turbulence, I'm not going to do because that looks like it's a mask. And I'm not too worried about this. So I'm going to delete that. Are the new textures on the architecture and landscape AIOs on Xbox yet? Nope. And I will let everybody know when they are. And then the crystals, they kind of look fucking fine. I mean, I really don't see an issue with the crystals, to be honest with you. But, I mean, I could definitely do them. I just don't see a point in it. But I could be completely wrong. People might just be like, do them! And they are kind of architectural. So, I think I'd be skimping out if I didn't do them. Let me see this boulder here, because I've never seen these boulders. Oh, it's just a fucking boulder. It looks like shit. Yeah, I'm going to redo that. I don't even know where these are. They look bad. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's horrid. Moth Glade. Yeah, we're going to have to redo those. And that's what we will do. And we will do all of that in the next stream. That wavy texture, is it the one on the Dwemer runes in Solheim? Probably. Probably. apparently we have to do the clutter folder, the Soul Cairn door. Let me look in this dungeons here again. This Azure Glow, which I drew all over because I didn't know where the crap it was, so I drew all over it to find it. And then here I just have the vanilla ones here. DLC Ember Glow. What is this? I'm not sure. What am I looking at here? Oh, this is for DLC 02. Jeez, I gotta remember these things. DLC 02 we're not doing yet. I've done all of these other ones. Everything else is done. Okay. So, the clutter and the clutter, Soul Cairn door, and that cave zigzaggy line thing we're gonna do. But everything else and the AIO seems like it's good. Nobody called out that when I was running around that I was missing anything. So Dawn Guard will come out, I hope, soon. I can't think of anything that I'm missing. Let me take a gander. Let me look at my mods. So, Sovngarde, Skyhaven Temple, Markarth, Windhelm. So, like, I think the only mod that I have not released... So, yeah, I'm looking here. You can take a look with me. The only mod that I don't think I've released, and correct me if I'm wrong, is Dawn Guard. I think I've released everything for Skyland thus far. Am I correct in this, or am I wrong? Did I say that I was going to upload something that I've not uploaded yet to the crowds? Yeah, I think that's it. Can y'all think of anything? Let me see. Yeah, I'm looking through my folder here and I can't think of anything. So yeah, so I don't think that there is anything. So I think so hopefully this Friday then I can get Dawn Guard uploaded to Nexus and Xbox. So that means we'll do another stream like Thursday. Okay? Yeah, I think you're right, William. So I think Thursday we'll do another stream at 8 p.m. Get the rest of Dawn Guard knocked out and then get it uploaded for Friday. I think that'll be the best thing to do. It won't come out Thursday night, but it'll come out Friday for Xbox and Nexus. And I think we'll be set and ready to go. Does that sound good to everyone? I hope it does. Okay, so with that, I want to say thank you to everyone who has joined us for the stream. It's been fun, it's been emotional, and it's been educational. And everyone else, we'll talk to you on Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you very much for watching and hanging out, and I will see you all next time. Thank you, Vixie, for hosting. William, Thomas, Tomba, Brandy, Chardero, Vixie again, Dross, thank you. Susan, of course. Who else? Hemsker, something in Russian. I'm just going up the list here. Kano, thank you. I hope I'm saying that right. And Mario, of course, even though he's not really been active. Lightning Bolt, 86, thank you. Mr. St. Jake for popping in. Timmy, 51. Vincent Keller, thank you. Who else do we have? Anyone else? So many people. Just trying to work it up. Working up the chat here. Nostalgia, thank you. Cole, thank you. Stonespire, thank you. Travis George, of course. Anyone else? Nope, that's it. So, thank you for everybody for interacting in the chat. I hope I gave you a good shout out. It is fun. Brandy, I look forward to all of your videos. Everyone go check out Brandy Unks' videos. They're very cool, fun, and great stories. We'll talk to you all later. Thank you very much.